Hello and welcome. If you are preparing for coding interviews, I bet you have heard of a website called Leetcode. But when you look at the website, there are more than 3,000 coding questions to practice. You can try these questions if you want to, but I don't think it's a wise strategy. In this video, I'm going to share with you all the strategies that I personally use to get good at coding interviews. Without further ado, let's dive in. Number 1. Memorize the patterns and not the problems. A mistake I make when I first practicing coding interviews is that I try to remember the solutions line by line without fully understanding them. I might remember some solutions, but most of the time I forgot. And when I come back to those problems, they feel completely new to me. So that's when I learned I need to remember the patterns instead of the solution themselves. There are a couple of common patterns for coding interview questions, including arrays, two pointers, sliding window, trees, graphs, dynamic programming, heaps, etc. I found a website called Leetcode.io. So this website is developed by an ex-Google engineer. He already organized 150 coding questions into categories so you can follow this pattern and practice. The website is completely free, so you don't need to worry about paying for anything. Another option is AlgoExpert.io. I personally use this product for my interview prep. They also organize coding questions into categories, so you can practice questions in each pattern. However, this is a paid product. Unless you want to practice other interviews such as system design interview or machine learning interview besides normal coding interview, then I suggest you go with Leetcode.io instead. Number 2. Focus on your weaknesses. As you get more practice with coding interviews, you will start to see your strengths and weaknesses. There will be questions that you can come up with an optimal solution by just glancing at it, and there will be questions that you will struggle for hours. My advice for you is focus on the questions that you are struggling. Imagine that this question is like a moat around a castle, and you have to cross the moat to get into the castle. In other words, you have to solve these questions to level up your coding interview skills. When I first practicing coding interviews, I always struggle with dynamic programming problems. I always found this question hard and difficult, so I just tried to run away from them because I didn't want to experience the pains and the struggles of solving these questions. And guess what? After about a year of practicing coding questions, I still could not solve dynamic programming problems. So that's when I learned I need to focus on my weaknesses. And I doubled down my effort on dynamic programming, and I got better in no time. Number 3. Visualization. One thing I often use when practicing coding interviews is drawing pictures. It was a game changer for me. Drawing pictures helped me build a deeper understanding of the problem, and it was much easier to come up with a solution. This technique is extremely helpful, especially when you deal with trees and graphs. The next time you are dealing with a coding questions, draw it on the whiteboard. If you are dealing with a tree problem, draw a tree. If you are dealing with a linked list, draw a linked list. This way, you will build an intuitive feeling for the problem, and it's much easier to derive a solution. If there's only one thing that you take from this video, take the advice. I can guarantee that you will get better at coding questions by using visualization. A mistake I saw many beginners often make is that they try to come up with an optimal solution the moment they see the questions. That's not a good approach to coding interviews. Unless you have solved the question before, it's almost impossible to come up with the optimal solution right away. You should always come up with a brute force solution first and see how inefficient it is. Then you can apply some optimization techniques to reduce the runtime or the space complexity. Usually, the brute force solution gives you a massive hint for the optimal solution. I use this technique a lot when I deal with dynamic programming problems. Usually, I will start with a recursion and backtracking solution. Then, I see what are the subproblems and what subproblems are repeated. After that, I optimize the solution by saving the subproblems in an array or a hash map. Number 5. Set realistic expectations about your progress. When you're first practicing coding interview, I know it's very easy to feel motivated and you will think that you will make extraordinary progress. You will expect to solve medium-hard problems after just a couple of days practicing Leetcode, and when reality is set in front of your face, you feel sad and miserable. When you have less experience, it's almost impossible to solve difficult problems. You need to solve easy problems first, then progress to the next level. So for me, practicing coding questions is the same as playing video games. When you're at level 1, you cannot slay dragons yet. You have to kill chickens. Because you are a beginner, even an easy problem will take you a lot of time at first, and that's okay. Your progress doesn't go up like a straight line like this. It stays flat at first, then goes straight up. I learned this concept from the Atomic Habit of James Clear. Your goal here is to be a little bit better every single day. If you aim to be 1% better, by the end of the year, you are already 37 times better. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. That support the channel a lot, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.